Hello, my name is Elizabeth Wellings and I am a current medical student here at UCF College of Medicine and I'm working on the PROMOBES project team. PROMOBES stands for the Professional Mobile Monitoring of Behaviors, and this will be a quick introduction before you take our validation survey. So let's look at the background of how PROMOBES came about. As students, our professionalism is usually evaluated with feedback in our clinical years, usually at the end of a rotation. And then in our preclinical years, it's usually evaluated at the end of a module. And there's no current method of linking our behaviors that may occur in our preclinical years and then following into our clinical years. And it would be helpful to try and deter these behaviors before they actually become a trait. There's also no formal process of providing real-time feedback to our students. So if there's an issue, the preceptors aren't prompted to immediately talk with the students to try and correct this behavior. So PROMOBES was developed, it's a mobile app to be used as reciprocal real-time feedback and tracking. The real-time feedback is going to help the students and preceptors discuss an issue. If you wait until the end of a module or until the end of a rotation, most likely the student and the preceptor have forgotten the context of the issue that has happened, and it doesn't really benefit either party. So PROMOBES is designed to be a supplemental tool to the practice of medicine curriculum. It's not meant to take place of the end of module evaluations, which are more to gather the students' general evaluation of their professionalism. This is more to specifically record extremely exemplary professionalism, which would be considered a gold Pegasus or a gold star, or to track and trend poor behaviors that may become a major issue. Initially, we're going to release this to preceptors to evaluate students, but eventually we would like it to be reciprocated so that students will be able to evaluate their preceptors. So here's the general flow of how PROMOBES will be used in practice. So the preceptor will observe an action, potentially in the clinic and a COP session. They will then go to their phone. They will document the behavior in the app. After they're finished, the app will prompt them to give real-time feedback to the student so that the issue can be discussed right away. The evaluation will then automatically be sent to the student supervisor, and the supervisor will act a little bit like a filter of what comes in. If the behavior deserves a red card and needs to be acted upon immediately with a meeting with the preceptor, the student, and the supervisor. Was this just a yellow card behavior that just should be tracked and trended? Or was this a gold Pegasus that should be recognized? The goal of all of this is to give timely, formative feedback. So here's what the app looks like on the phone. The supervisor can log in and they will find the student. They can then give them a gold Pegasus, a yellow card. A yellow card is more for looking at small incidents that occur, but the preceptor wants to look out for them because this could end up being a trend. Maybe it doesn't happen every time, but it could build into something worse. And then there's the red card, which needs immediate response. Then they're going to go in and select the different categories to try and define the action that occurred. And this is going to help with tracking and trending and streamlining the process. Then the faculty member has the option to write some text and some content behind the issue in case when they have a potential meeting in the future with the student, they have some story behind it. And then here is what gets actually sent to the supervisor. So what we are doing here today, we have already held several focus groups to develop a survey, and the survey is meant to assess students' perceptions and attitudes toward this app. We've run the survey through a pilot test and have optimized the survey that you will be taking today. You will be taking this validation survey as a pre-test before you have had any exposure to the app in your COP sessions. And then we'll ask you to take the survey again after you have finished your community of practice module in May. Perceptions. So the purpose of PROMOBES, again, it's meant to be a learning tool to help increase students' awareness of their professionalism. It's not meant to be a punitive tool. it can also be used to track exemplary professionalism. So if you're a student who tends to get gold stars, you're just always exemplary, you could possibly use this to support your CV and maybe your residency applications. So the PROMOBES aims to prevent unprofessionalism in general and to promote early intervention so that as a future physician we can help deter future medical board disciplinary actions. And since this is funded by the Macy Grant Foundation, this has the potential to go beyond medical education and into the customer service industry. So some of the common questions we've got that we want to answer before you start our survey is that we will be giving significant training to the users before the release of PROMOBES into these community practice sessions to help standardize the use of PROMOBES. No one will have access to this besides the student supervisor, not even the preceptor and not the students themselves. PROMOBES will not take place at the end of module evaluations. It's meant to just supplement the extremes occurrences that may happen. We ask you now to complete our 30-question survey. An informed consent will be provided for you on the first screen before starting your survey, so please take a look at that first. You will then be given the opportunity at the end of the survey to provide us with any comments or concerns you have about the PROMOBES app. After you've completed the survey, you will automatically be redirected to a separate survey that will ask you for your email address. We are collecting your email address via an unlinked survey to make sure that your surveys are not linked to your identity and so that we can make sure you receive your compensation for taking the survey. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me at elizabethwellings@knights.ucf.edu to get your questions answered before you begin the survey. Thank you very much for your participation.